You have to let go of everything that you've once known in order to make room for your future self. And this is something that I was writing in my journal about, where I kept asking myself, why do I keep going back in time 6, 7 years ago and pulling out my thoughts from those moments in life? Pulling out those experiences to give advice, pulling out those experiences in general, even in my content creation, where I find myself not having a spark of inspiration. I'm like, oh, let me just share a story of something that happened to me 7, 8, 6 years ago. But the thing that triggers me is like, why do I need to share those things if they don't resonate with anything that I am doing in current day? Why do I need to still allow this past identity of mine take control of this identity of mine today and take control of this future identity of mine today? Or it kind of reflects to when it comes to friendships, where you meet someone, it's like, oh, I need to tell them all my lore. Oh, I need to tell them all of this stuff so they know who I am. But the thing is, you're speaking upon a version of yourself that no longer exists. You're speaking upon a version of yourself that's not even you. It's not you. If you compared a version of yourself from 5, 6, 7 years ago to the version of yourself that you are today, they are not the same people. And that's the main point of what I want to speak on today, is that you are really not the same person as how you were 6 years ago. So why do you keep allowing that identity to be the decision maker of things? Why do you allow that identity to prevent you from actually being conscious about what you're going through now and form your identity on the things that are happening in your life right now? And I've noticed that, me being 23, I still think about things when I was 15, 16 years old. And I'm like, dude, this person is not me. This person is not going to freaking make me a trillionaire. You get what I'm saying? This person is not going to be the person that sets me up for success. She had her purpose in life, and she guided me on a path, and everything that I've learned, and that past version of myself, it had its purpose. But it comes to the point where it's like, you don't have a purpose anymore. Not right now. Maybe you might have a purpose 10 years down the line. But as of right now, I can only focus about what I've been going through since I've been 20 and how I'm going to make my 20s skyrocket. And that's the only thing that needs to go into my mind. And I'm making this video because you might be in a position in your life where you're still identifying with this past version of yourself, and this past version of yourself is still having influence over the decisions that you are currently making for your present day self and the decisions that your present day self is trying to make for their future self. And it comes to a point where you literally need to shut that version up. You need to shut them up and be like, listen, girl, I get it. You want to be seen. I get it, but you're done. Your purpose is no longer with me anymore. You are just a version of me, and that version of me is just not going to get me to where I want to be. And I need to focus on the things that are currently happening in my life, the lessons that I'm currently learning, and the recent past version of myself from a year ago to excel in life. And I feel like, especially if you had a rough teen year, if you had a rough childhood, you probably still think about those things. And I don't even know how old you are, but you're probably still thinking about those things. So let my experience, let my trigger of being like, oh my God, this girl needs to shut up, my past version needs to stop being involved, let that journal entry that I wrote be that reminder and that trigger that tells you like, yo, we got to cut her out. We got to cut him out. He can no longer be the ones making decisions for us. The reason why this started to trigger me was because me as a content creator, and I'm trying to create better short form content on Instagram and kind of pull stories out of my life. The first story I always go to are things from 6 years ago. And it's like, none of this stuff resonates with me. And I found that my creative spark, it was very hard for me to cultivate these new stories, because I'm like, what is going on in my life in present day that I can create a story out of? And I really had to sit down with myself and ask myself, hey, what is something that I'm going through right now in any area of my life that I can create stories out of? And I had to start tapping into my present day self to get creativity to create those stories. And that's when I realized, like, wow, the past version of myself is way too involved in my life and is still making decisions for me. Like, why is my past self being involved in the content that I'm creating for the version of myself today? What? Like, get her out of here. Leave me alone. you're done. Your time is over. But yeah, that is basically the video. Make room for your future self. If you have a vision of where you want to be 5 years from now, that vision is not going to happen if your past self is the one that's guiding you over there, because they're not going to get you there. You're going to be caught in that same loop, the same stories, the same whatever you tell yourself in your head, all because of your past version. You have to let go. You have to let go of them. And I know the past version of yourself, you're trying to become the best version of yourself because, your past version of yourself went through so much, and you're trying to be that woman, that man that your past version needed. And so I guess take this also as a sign to chat with your past version of yourself and be like, listen, you don't got to make yourself known. We know that you're known, but if you want me to get better and you want me to keep making our future better, I'm going to have to shut you up. You are not going to be involved in my life until I finish the mission that we discussed back then. So yeah, that's kind of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video and this little rant, and I hope this resonated with you. I know there's so many people out there who are always battling with their past self, always trying to come in out of nowhere to make decisions for them. Shut them up. They're just this little kid that wants to genuinely just be seen and wants to still have a say in their life. But it's like, dude, you had a say in your life. We're done. You served your purpose. So just remember that. Let their past version of yourself know that, you still love them. But at this moment, you can't have them disturb you. It's noise. Block the noise. It's like that little kid that's always yapping, Mommy, can we please get this? Please, please. Like, you get what I'm saying? But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.